In this video, we're going to practice counting quarter notes and quarter rests. We're going to start with an example in 4/4 time. Okay, just a reminder, the top 4 means there's going to be 4 beats in a measure, and the bottom 4 means that we're dividing up a whole note into 4 equal sized pieces. So it tells us what gets the beat. Well, what gets the beat? Quarter notes, because quarter notes are what you get when you divide a whole note into 4 equal sized pieces. So to recap that, it's going to be 4 quarter notes in each measure. 4. Okay, and some of these will be quarter rests, but remember, quarter rests are the same exact length of time as quarter notes. So let's go ahead and go over this first measure. We have 1, 2, remember each of them gets their own count, their own downbeat, okay? And then 3 is going to be in parentheses, because remember, we're not going to say them out loud. And when we do that, we notate them in parentheses when we're writing the counts. And 4, just another quarter note. Just to make sure we're super clear, I want to make sure that we have an idea of where all the downbeats are. Okay, so it's going to be down, 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 down. Cool. And I'm not going to worry about the upbeats for the moment. I am going to write them, but remember, we're only pulsing them with our voice when we're counting the quarter notes. Okay, so you're not going to actually say down, up. You're going to say the numbers. Go ahead and listen to me first. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to try that again. 1, 2, here I go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Let's go ahead and try the next one. So we have 1. We know that that's going to be, beat 2 is going to be in parentheses because it's a quarter rest. And beat 3 will be in parentheses for the same reason. And then we have beat 4 as a regular quarter note. Let's try it. 1, 2, here I go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try it again. 1, 2, here I go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's go ahead and do this last measure of this line. So we have 1 in parentheses, 2 because it's a regular quarter note, not a rest, 3, same thing, and 4 is a rest. So we will have that in parentheses. And we're going to go ahead and add 1 note of the following measure without going on. Yes, there's a bunch of stuff that's going to happen after this. We're not worrying about that right now. We're just going to finish the bar and add a downbeat, is what it's called when you add 1 note of the next measure. Let's try it. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Let's try it again. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. All right. Now we're going to have some examples in 3/4 time. Just remember, we are in 3/4. The top number says we're going to have 3. Bottom number says quarter notes. 3 quarter notes in each measure, or quarter rests. So to put the counts, be 1, 2 would be in parentheses because it's a rest, and 3 would be articulated as well. So let's try it. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to count you off in 3/4, so it's going to be like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, ready, go. 1, 2, 3. Let's try it again. And this time I'll go ahead and add the first beat of the next measure, which is going to be a quarter rest, so it's going to be 1 in parentheses, whispered. 1, 2, 3, 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1. And remember, we're not going to go to 4 because we're in 3/4, so we stop at 3 and start all the way over at 1. Try it again. 1, 2, 3, 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1. All right, next bar. We already know that beat 1 is in parentheses, and then we have 2 quarter notes, so it's just 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. How about we add the first note of the next measure again, which is just going to be 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1. Last time. 1, 2, 3, 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1. Good. Let's go to the next bar. So now we have 2 rests in a row. So beat 2 and 3 will both be in parentheses. And we'll add the downbeat of the next bar, which will be 1. All right, let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1. Try it again. 1, 2, 3, 1. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 1. And there it is. Let's go ahead and go to some examples in 2/4 time. So we're going to have 2 quarter notes in each measure. So our counts here, pretty simple, 1, 2. We're going to do 2 bars in a row actually and add the downbeats. So next bar we have 1, starting over, right? So we're in 2/4, so we don't do 3 or 4. We go right back up to 1 again. And then 2 in parentheses because it's a quarter rest, and then 1 in parentheses for the same reason. Let's try it. 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Let's try it again. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. All right. Let's go ahead and do the next 2 bars with a downbeat. So we already know that that first one's going to be 1, and then 2 in parentheses, and then so we have 1 in parentheses, and then we have 2 normally. And then we're going to have 1 in parentheses, 2 in parentheses, and 1. Okay, so we're going to do 2 bars in a row. 1, 3, 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Try it again. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. And there we go. Now, we're going to get a little bit adventurous. Now we're in 5/4. Looks intimidating, but we know that all it means is that we have 5 quarter notes. 5 quarter notes in each measure. So the counting's pretty simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you start right over at 1. It is that simple. Let's try it. 1 measure, and 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. And that's it. Let's try it again. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Nice. Next measure, we're going to do the same thing where we did 1 measure and a downbeat. So let me get this guy out of the way real quick. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3 in parentheses, 4, 5, 1 in parentheses. Let's try it. It's going to be a little hard to see this. Here, let me just scoot this stuff up a tiny bit just to make it easier for you to see. There we go. Okay. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Try it again. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Okay, last measure. There's no downbeat this time because I didn't have room. So we're just going to do this 1 measure. Let me go ahead and write in the counts. So we already know 1 is in parentheses, 2, another quarter rest in parentheses, 3, 4, 5. Let's try it. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2. Oh, I lost my cursor. Give me one moment. Okay, try it like this. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Try it again. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.